Now, the Brooklyn Nets, the boys down in Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn. Oh, man, they've been going through it. I tell you what, ever since they touched down back in 2012, the branding has been off. They had a Russian billionaire owner who quickly tried to make a splash, end up making their team look like the rival Boston Celtics by getting Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, which wasn't a good look because New York and Boston, it is a rival there. And then fast forward to the fiasco with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. The one mistake I believe Joe Tsai, the current owner of the Nets, made was siding with B. Marks over his superstars, not realizing that the Nets are not necessarily a destination that attracts superstars. Their lack of direction was clearly noted by James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. So the Nets financially are not going to be struggling because they are in a basketball city, but the most this team ever kind of felt and looked like a Brooklyn team where they were setting trends was when they had that season before Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant came with D'Angelo Russell and Karis LeVert. That team had their whole bench standing up and just doing that dance, having the rest of the league sort of imitate them. Once again, that was the most Brooklyn that they looked. They were setting trends. They were on their own wave. Shit, they even had LeBron James copying it out there in LA. But yet the year after, the team was blown up, and it's just been too many misdirections with this team. And check out right here, most recently, they can't even get any love from some of their performers at halftime. Because even this rapper right here apologizes to the Knicks, which is unfucking believable, while he was in mid-performance.
This Brooklyn's best, wait, and we repping the Nets, wait. My bad to the Knicks, but we all know the Nets is winning. Like, come on, let's keep it going.
Brooklyn, give it up for Contrast!
Just landed in Brooklyn.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And the crowd can't even be mad because half the crowd is probably Knicks fans anyway. Once again, I'm speaking from experience here because I used to live by the Barclays Center. And Brooklyn, New York is my hometown. And even when the Nets had KD, Harden, and Kyrie, the talk of the town was when Julius Randle was having that comeback season back in that 2020-2021 season. But check out right here as Bill Simmons did a sit down with Zach Lowe, and he spoke about how the Boston Celtics fans completely outweighed the Nets fans, which is a fucking Obama nation in New York City.
What are the Knicks-Nets ratio of people like, what's up with my blank when you're in New York? Probably like 99% Knicks?
It's 50-1 Knicks versus Nets. Meeting a Nets fan, even in New York, is only slightly more common than meeting like a Magic fan in New York. It's that bad.
So I went to Nets Celtics on Tuesday night. It was hilarious watching the Nets do all the checkpoints that the NBA teams do, where they're like, no, and then the Jumbotron video screen for 2 minutes, and it's like Michael Porter Jr. turning around and Cam Thomas, and the crowd's just dead. And it's like 60% Celtic fans. The Nets don't even really seem like they want to be there. The Celtics are just like, let's not fuck this game up, guys.
Nets fans hate when you say this and talk about how dead the Barclays Center is, and how it was kind of dead even when they were good. It's like, look, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Like, I've been to a lot of arenas. It's not resonating.
The branding has been completely horrible. They're all over the place, and it's pretty much a known thing that you could put the word Brooklyn on a shirt. You could be anywhere in the world. You could sell that. And that might have applied here with the Nets. They thought that they could sell this team just by having the word Brooklyn. First of all, they might have to get rid of that Nets. They should have switched up the name, first of all. And their logo is just way too bland. There's no identity. They have not yet ingratiated themselves with the city in the same way. It's hard to explain, but it's just not working out, like, branding wise.
Here's the problem. It's not dead for the Liberty Games.
The Liberty Games are awesome.
The Liberty Games are alive.
Wild. Yeah.
So it's the Nets' fault, and it's the Nets' fault probably for thinking they could come into New York and try to steal New York from the Knicks, because everybody loves the Knicks here.
I wouldn't say it's that necessarily. They just didn't come to Brooklyn with branding themselves a certain way, having a certain aura, maybe being the young, scrappy team through the draft. It would have been nice to see if there was a strategy, sort of like how the Oakland Raiders kind of branded themselves behind being rebels. it doesn't have to be about that to a T, but they should have approached the branding from that kind of angle. Like, what kind of aura, what kind of attitude should we present? Just myself, from going into the Barclays Center, it feels like the Nets just thought that they could toss the word Brooklyn around everything and kind of make it cool. It's just, something seems off. It seems very transplant-ish. The borough of Brooklyn has gone through a transition. At the same time, the Nets did arrive, and quite a few of the fan bases that they have acquired are new residents of New York. So who knows, maybe things could change over time, but right now it's almost like a gentrified basketball team of New York City. So it's a weird vibe.
So I don't know what the solution is, but I'll tell you one of the solutions. Having 5 first-round picks and not having any of them be anyone I was that interested in watching play basketball, that wasn't great. I just think it's a disgrace.
Oh, come
This
on.
is the NBA
Come on,
at its
don't
worst.
disgrace.
This is the NBA at its worst. A team that sucked for a couple years now and wanted to suck again. I don't understand, in a draft that had so many good players, that they took 5 guys that not one of them has jumped out to me yet.
It's so early.
I know,
so early.
but it's just like, this is a disgrace of a team. It's just terrible what they did. I don't.
Now, Bill Simmons, it should be a disgrace that the owner sided with Sean Marks over 3 superstars, in which this team don't really have the ability to get that level of players. A James Harden in his prime, a Kevin Durant. The Nets are not that type of destination.
We never solved the NBA correctly with shit
Tanking.
like this. It's embarrassing to watch.
Now, this wasn't the only time some of the NBA media members have taken notice of the aura in Barclays Center. Check out what Tim Bontemps, who covered the Nets, had to say about even Kyrie Irving making his return into Brooklyn as a Maverick.
There was no atmosphere. It might as well have been a regular Tuesday in November. Like, it was sort of the opposite of his entire tenure here, which was just full of insanity and noise on all sorts of levels. He kind of referred to it obliquely in his comments, saying, essentially, I made some mistakes, which that is maybe the understatement of the century. But, it was jarring. I mean, as someone who covered this team back when it moved to Brooklyn 12 years ago, it is jarring how much things have degraded, at least how it feels anyway, from an atmosphere standpoint here. Like, it just doesn't feel like there's any fans really for the Nets at all at these games. Like, you come every night and the visiting team is getting massive cheers compared to the home team. And whenever Kyrie made a shot, the cheers were a lot louder than the handful of boos he was getting from the home fans. I don't think it's because there was like a massive amount of Nets fans cheering for Kyrie. I think there were a lot of Mavs fans here cheering for Kyrie and Luka. And it's just sort of what it's been like on a nightly basis of late. And it made for kind of a weird atmosphere.
Now, that same weird atmosphere played out for the Nets when they were in Jersey. They did not resonate in the same exact way. I remember I even went to a game out there, out in Newark. It was dead. So some of these franchises, they have something internally. They may have some of the same people working there internally, and there's something that they're not doing from the marketing side. They're not really connecting. And I want to throw this on top. Just having these billionaire international owners like Prokhorov and now Joe Tsai taking over. These guys do not understand the American market, especially in New York City. It's a particular American market, especially if you're going to brand something in Brooklyn. You're going to have to mix in a little bit of the organic with the inorganic. You know how you go to the supermarket and there might be some ground beef or something that has a little bit inorganic, but it's mixed in with the organic? It's the same way, but when you market something in Brooklyn, you're going to have to put in more organic into it. And just throwing the word Brooklyn around nonstop and playing Biggie, gotta have a different approach. I like the idea with the Coogee sweaters. It was dope, but gonna have to do a little bit more to resonate with more modern times. But we'll see. That arena is more intimate and smaller than most other NBA arenas. So for them to have a dead atmosphere, it says a lot. And the New York Liberty, clearly, they're resonating. So there is a market for the Nets is that they're just not attacking it correctly. So Joe Tsai, hire some of the locals. There's a lot of talent out there in Brooklyn, and they can help you with the marketing and sort of the PR side of things. All those transplants that you got working for you, that shit ain't hitting. Well, that's all I have for today. You guys definitely hit up the link in the description below. Check out the NBA True Story playlist. Also the NBA Hardwood Nuances. Nice little storyline mixed with game film. There's many stories from past and present. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.